Hello my friend, welcome back to another video. Today I feel compelled to record a video especially for you, yes, you. The reason I'm creating this video is because I sense that there are people who aren't seeing themselves, aren't seeing the value in themselves as much as they should be. And as a result of you not seeing your absolute power, value, potential, and magic that is already within you, you might be shortchanging yourself in life. So this video is designed to be an honest, perspective-changing pep talk, which you can re-listen to as often as you like whenever you need that boost to remind yourself what an absolute freaking badass you actually are and how you can totally expect to receive and attract whatever life it is that you want. So I have prepared myself $1 million cup of tea right here. I invite you to get cozy, chill with me in my living room. We're both here sipping on tea and sharing some truths, okay? So, where to start? Firstly, because I think this is a big one, the opinions of others. I wonder how many hours of our lives we waste on that pointless exercise. Here's a powerful quote that I heard. I think it was Quincy Jones who shared it on a documentary. Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me. When I first heard this, I thought, wow, that is the most bold statement I've ever heard. Such a strong thing to come from such a strong person. But when I heard it, I thought, wow, that's really inspiring. Maybe that would make a good Insta quote. But in reality, I was like, I feel a million miles away from that though. My self-worth does depend on other people's acceptance of me. If nobody accepted me, I'd feel pretty crappy and I'd probably be questioning all sorts of things about my self-worth. And then I thought, wow, it doesn't have to be that way. My self-worth does not have to depend on other people's acceptance of me. And I get it. We are beings, in our very innate nature where we belong in communities, in tribes, in villages and towns, and that's the way that we've evolved. And as a result, what the rest of our community thinks of us is of importance on that evolutionary level. However, if we do fast forward into the modern day, very few people's opinions need matter to you. If you have a boss, then I get it. Maybe your boss's acceptance of you is going to pay your bills. If you're your own business, then you have slightly less of a boss to answer to, but then your customers are your boss. So if they accept and they approve of your product, then you make your money that way. So I get it. There are certain people where it is important to make sure that they like what it is that you're doing, but that still could be separate from them approving of whether or not you are a good enough person. Like your self-acceptance, your acceptance of this soul, your soul. You are a soul living inside and around a human body. And so when you put it like that, why is it that we decide whether or not we're going to approve of this timeless, infinite, spiritual being The likelihood is you know it's not the first time you've come here, or you've experienced multiple lifetimes, or even if you've just experienced this lifetime, all of the things that you've experienced as a soul in this lifetime. When you bring it back down to that, then why the frick should, whether somebody comments positively or negatively on your Instagram post, whether you get 10 likes or 100 likes or 1,000 likes, or whether that guy thinks you're cute or thinks you're lame or stupid, like, what the hell has that got to do with your amazing infinite soul and everything that you are worth as a being? Or even if people like closest to you, like someone maybe you've been in a relationship with, or your best friends, if your best friends don't accept you for everything that you are, get some new best friends. I'm really, really grateful because I've done a lot of purging. Over the years, I've lost a few friends. And I'm no longer friends with people who laugh at me, tease me, judge me, bitch or gossip about me. They're not friends. And so I have cultivated a circle of people, all of whom treat me with love, respect, admiration, adoration. They adore me, and that's what friends should do. And in return, I adore them back. And maybe with the law of attraction, you know, it starts with you. It starts with how you treat others. Do you unapologetically accept other people? Do you loyally support your friends' causes? Do you empower them to achieve the dreams that they want to achieve? Or, if you're honest with yourself, do you laugh if they have an idea which you think is a bit intimidatingly big, and you think that maybe, you know, it intimidates you, so you laugh it down so that they don't go ahead and do it? Or if they wear an outfit that's really different, are you judging them and thinking maybe I don't want to be seen in photos with them? Or if they go off and they pursue a business, and when they start their business, it is rubbish. And they're rubbish at it, but they have to start somewhere. And so what you do as a friend is you support them, right? And you you ask them if they're open to some honest feedback, and then when you present that feedback, you pay them a compliment, you give them some feedback, and then you pay them another compliment, so that you are shining love on them and support on them all the way, and you let them know that you can see them becoming that version of themselves that maybe they want to, but they have doubts about. So if you want people to treat you that way, it starts with you treating other people that way. And I think that was a big shift for me. I started to not try and get people to fit into what I wanted them to be, and support and empower them to be their happiest, to do the things that are going to make them the happiest. So, not one drop of your self-worth should depend on other people's opinions of you. Create a group of valuable friends who love you and empower you to be who you authentically are. And then let's bring it now back down to, let's take everybody else out of the equation and let's look at your relationship with you. If you're going through some real difficult stuff at the moment, and it feels super hard, and you're questioning the universe, you're questioning yourself, you're doubting here, there, and everywhere, and you just wish that things could get better, maybe someone's left you, maybe you've lost something or someone, and things aren't going to your plan. I want to remind you that you are more than your conscious mind. Okay, so those thoughts that you have where you're worrying and you're upset and you're doubting and you have this plan and it's not going to plan, that's just one very small aspect of who you are. you are connected to, you are an infinite being that can also experience multiple dimensions, that can experience past, present, and future simultaneously. It's almost like, you know, in some ways you could look at it like sometimes we think that this ultimate being, this creator, this God, this universe is separate from us, but actually we are connected to that. We are connected to everything. So that is where, when you say like, oh, how can I trust in the universe? I find it really hard to let go. Like, it's not like if you have trust issues with other humans that you're going to have trust issues with a God or the universe or the creator. It's about trusting the bigger part of you that has heard every single one of your wishes, that knows exactly where you want to go, that is constantly responding to what it is that you're asking for. And that sometimes means, with your best interest at heart, that you are being taken on detours that are actually detours in the right direction. Now, some of you might be looking at me and saying, Lucie, how can losing the absolute love of my life be a detour in the right direction? Explain that to me. But this is what I'm saying to you, is that in the process of the pain that you might be going through right now, you are also growing through it right now. How much of a man or a woman that you are is being defined in these difficult times, in these painful moments. Developing a deeper relationship with who you truly are is what happens when we are completely and utterly alone, and when we feel like nobody is there to support us. So we gain our strength, we gain our depth during the challenges in our life. And we did not actually come down to earth to live this temporary human existence for everything to just be sunshine and rainbows all of the time. In fact, sunshine and rainbows all of the time, we're going to get that again one day. But while we're here on earth, you know, make the most of this dimension that we're living in. And this dimension is filled with contrast and good and bad, positivity and negativity. I'm going to touch on that in a second, so stay with me. So while you are here experiencing this life of contrast, you know, maybe we've forgotten it, but ultimately we chose to have this experience so that our soul could develop and acquire more experiences. Think about it like when you play a video game, or even a lot of apps try to gamify the you know, experience when you're using the app, where like the more that you do something, or the more days that you check into the app, or the more stars you catch in this game, then you achieve a new medal, right? And you unlock a new level. So all of that stuff that's in the world of games, it's a parallel to how this game of life works. And with every challenge and every level that you're growing through right now, what's happening is that you're collecting more life experience, you're collecting more medals, more gold stars, and you are the whole way through becoming a more experienced soul. And that is a big purpose of why we live our lives. So sometimes people think about like, what's my life purpose? And they think that like, my life purpose, I need to know what I want to do in this life. I need to know where I'm going to go, and I need to have a plan. And often if you're one of the people like me who doesn't have a fixed plan, you don't have this, you're not someone who like when they were 5 years old, they just knew they were going to be a footballer and now they're Cristiano Ronaldo. Like if you don't have that kind of knowing of what career you're going to pursue, I don't know about you guys, but I actually felt quite envious, quite jealous, and quite scared of the fact that I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Interestingly, one of the things I wanted to do when I was little was to be a TV presenter or a filmmaker or both, and I'm doing that now in a format that didn't exist when I was a child, which is awesome and mad and like, woo, that's a little bit spooky that the universe knew it all along what was coming, or that my inner being, knew what was coming all along, even when I consciously didn't know how it was going to happen. But going back to the point of, what is your life purpose? So I used to feel very worried and empty that I didn't know what my life purpose was. And I thought, whoa, why is that such a hard question to answer? Let me know if you guys relate to this. But when you realize that actually your life purpose isn't necessarily that you become a blah, or that you accomplish this, or that you create millions. Like, your life purpose is to become the next level being of you. And so what that also means is that if everything has gone to shit in your life, and if, if you were to write it on paper, you haven't got very much impressive things to show for yourself. Like, all of that is just societal balls of what people say, like, this is what qualifies a life worth lived. And if you haven't ticked enough of these boxes, you aren't living a fulfilled life. No. Who wrote that anyway? Who created those rules? And a few 100,000 years ago, we as humans weren't ticking, we didn't even have those boxes to tick. We were just, hunting, gathering, eating, reproducing, interacting, loving, fighting, learning, developing, and evolving. Like, there's a different list of things to accomplish back then. So my point is that if you're going through a really rubbish time and you feel like, I haven't got my relationships together, I haven't got my family ships together, I haven't got my money together, I'm in debt, I don't own a property, I don't have any qualifications, I don't have any good friends, I don't have a healthy body, like, am I just a failure? And my answer to you is, no, you're not a failure. What you are currently experiencing is one of the, or multiple of the, challenges that you came here to experience to grow stronger as a soul. That's what you're here for, and you're going to grow through them. And if hearing that gives you more motivation to stay as positive as you possibly can, and to trust the process as much as you possibly can, knowing that with every day that you weather a dark storm, that your soul is getting stronger. Imagine if you were walking across the Sahara Desert with no shoes on, and your feet were in so much pain in the early few days of that trip, and you don't know how you can even take another step forwards. But eventually what's going to happen in that process is your mind is going to get stronger, and your feet are going to grow tougher. The skin on your feet is going to grow thicker, and your body is going to adapt. And as a result, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. So don't worry. Don't worry if you haven't got it all together and if people are pressuring you, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying sit back and do nothing. I'm saying embrace the challenges that you have right now and do your very best to grow through the chapter that you're in right now. Tunnel vision, laser focused. You're not looking at somebody else is having babies and you haven't even got a partner. No. That's not your journey right now. Somebody else has just got promoted and they're just making this much more money per year. No. That's not your lane right now. Your journey is your journey. What have you got in front of you? What is your current set of challenges? What do you need to heal? What is the next level of you that you get to become? What state is your health, and what are you going to do about your health? Doesn't matter if that person has abs and you're overweight. Okay, so what's your goal? Your goal might not currently be abs. In fact, if you looked at the goal of abs, it would probably demotivate you and you wouldn't even start your journey. So what's your journey? What's your 1% better today? And then when you get 1% better today, what is your 1% better tomorrow? And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. When you were a baby, you weren't looking around the adult, and I mean like newborn baby. You weren't looking around the adults going, oh, this adult can speak and they can walk and they can talk, they can, dress themselves, they can wipe their own butts. God, I'm so jealous. They're so much better than me. You were a baby and you owned that, and you were rocking it, and nothing else mattered to you, and your journey was your priority. And your next step was your priority. Nothing else was as important. So at your core, that's still who you are. And you still have the ability to keep moving forwards in your own lane without being distracted by anybody else, without being crippled or paralyzed by fear. And that sometimes might mean turning off notifications on your phone. That might mean stopping scrolling through social media where you're seeing the best parts of everybody else's life when you're not seeing the hustle and grind. I hustle and grind, and I cry, and I have mental breakdowns every now and then, and I feel overwhelmed and crappy at times. And that stuff doesn't make it to the beautiful pictures that end up on my Instagram. And some people might say, oh, why don't you show more of that? Like, people don't want to see that crap. Yeah, in my captions, I share realness. In my stories, I talk about what I am proactively doing, like breath work, meditation, yoga, journaling, personal development, what I'm doing to help myself through those difficult challenges. And when you can equip yourself with looking at, okay, here's my current problem. What is my solution? I'm going to stay solution focused. I'm not going to rely on anybody else. My happiness cannot be found in anything or anyone else. So I'm going to go through my list of tools that I have, my free tools, and I'm going to use one or all of them to help me through this situation. I love you guys so much. Give this video a thumbs up if you got anything from it, if you're feeling any better or more empowered or more inspired or more clear on your life purpose. You've got this. We've got this together. Thank you for being part of my community. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe and ring my bell so that you never miss a video. Until next time, bye.